Parliament's Standing Committee on Public Accounts, Scopa, has confirmed it's hitting the pause button on its investigation into the Eskom CEO under Ruyter, because the Eskom board has already started its own independent investigation. Scopa had said it would investigate Ruyter after the head of procurement at Eskom, Ruyter, accused him of purging black suppliers. Ruyter has been suspended over alleged wrongdoing at the utility. The chair of the Standing Committee on Public Accounts is Khwengwa. He joins us now. Mkhuleko, good afternoon to you. Just to clarify this, why have you decided to put this investigation into Ruyter into abeyance, to hit the pause button?
Well, thank you very much, Stephen, for this opportunity, and good afternoon to you and the viewers. You will recall that ordinarily it is government departments and entities which must investigate issues insofar as irregularities are concerned which take place within their respective spaces. The dilemma with Eskom, of course, was that they had sat on these allegations for quite a while, 14 months to be exact, well, some of them, and they accumulated over time. And so ours was to exert the necessary pressure for Eskom to do the right things. Of course, they did jump the gun and then investigated after we had announced that we would investigate. But in receiving the correspondence from the minister, who's the line function minister for Eskom in Parliament, and the terms of reference which would cover the investigation, we were quite satisfied that we can hold our investigation in abeyance until such time that this one has been concluded, because it's in the same matter and the same persons of interest who are appearing before the special counsel and have appeared before us were the same people. So what is actually going to happen is that Eskom is going to conclude its initiated investigation and table a report to Parliament, to us, and we will make an assessment and a determination at that point as to whether the investigation has gone correctly and has covered the necessary areas. What we were avoiding is duplication, which would have amounted to wasteful expenditure, waste of taxpayers' money. And we believe that because the Eskom is not necessarily investigating itself here, but has rather appointed a special counsel in the name of Advocate Ishmael Semenya, we are quite confident that that is sufficient at this point in time. We do, of course, take a dim view of the fact that Eskom actually took a while to investigate these matters, and the chairperson of the board will be called to Parliament to explain this phenomena as well. And the other resolution, which once frames how we want the investigation to go, is that we've given Eskom 90 days to complete this investigation from initiation. And so imagine now, at the top of my head, they probably have 60 days left on that, because this is an investigation they began about a month ago. And so they are on a short leash. But also, we have also had begun doing our own paid work as a committee, and we are in receipt and in possession of information which we are going to use when we assess how this process has gone. So this does two things. One, Eskom takes responsibility and steps up to its fiduciary responsibilities, particularly the board, to investigate matters that are presented to it. But also, this is a litmus test for Eskom, and they are in the dock here, that they can do things credibly and legitimately. So they are in the dock as well. Eskom is in fact on trial here, so that they can actually step up to the plate and do the things that they want to do. We do encourage government departments and entities to actually understand that this is their responsibility, and so we believe that the pressure we have exerted on Eskom has put them in a position where they have to confront these very difficult issues so that they have to resolve them as well.
There's also this issue, from what I can see, of an affidavit. It was compiled by Ruyter. It seems to be a response, a defense, if you like, to the claims against him. And this document, from what I can understand, was made public in some way, perhaps before your committee members received it. Should it have been given to you before it was made public?
Well, it's quite unfortunate that we are in a climate where certain quarters want to undertake very sensitive information such as this one and processes of serious investigations as PR exercises. It was both reckless and irresponsible for whoever would have leaked that affidavit into the public domain, not because there's no transparency, but just from a process point of view, it does not seem to have been done in good faith. Actually, so that does not sit well with us. But what I am confident about is that the leak certainly didn't come from Scopa, and that, of course, is something we will be looking into. I want to believe that the CEO of Eskom will ventilate himself accordingly, consistent with his affidavit, to the special counsel. And the special counsel will make a determination moving forward on the findings. But the committee members themselves will be receiving a copy of that affidavit in due course.
Mkhuleko, the claims against the Ruyter are very serious. But there's a huge and complex issue in the middle of this, and I don't know if the context is important or not. It's around, I suppose the best way to summarize it is it's around the politics of providing coal to Eskom, which feeds into the politics of renewable energy. I mean, there are various factors involved. There are people who transport coal. There are people who dig the stuff up. There's a sort of solar power lobby. And, of course, if you use solar power, you don't have anything to transport, right? So there are different actors. There are different agendas. Could this context be related to all of it in some way? Or for you as a committee, do you think it's better to just focus on the single issue of the claims against Rachungano and the claims against the Ruyter?
No, for us, we are focusing on the allegations against the CEO, which amount to, amongst other things, irregularities insofar as procurement is concerned, alleged amendments which are not consistent with the law and PFMA, to processes internally, which of course have extended to racism, which must also be actually looked at insofar as the profiling of companies and purging of companies is actually concerned. The issues that you raise, of course, are very, very important because they're at the heart of the viability and sustainability actually of Eskom. And I would like to believe that the Portfolio Committee on Public Enterprises will be looking at that. But beyond that, I think the fundamental question which arises is whether Eskom is placed correctly in the Department of Public Enterprises in this current climate, and whether should it not be moved to the Department of Mineral Resources and Energy. So those are all the complex policy questions which have to be answered. But be that as it may, whether it's positioned at public enterprises or mineral resources and energy, the due processes and prescripts of the PFMA apply regardless. And so those are the issues we were focused on. That is Eskom managing its finances consistent with the law and the National Treasury regulations. And whatever policy outlook is taken insofar as coal, renewable energy is concerned, all those things themselves must actually be within the parameters of the law when it comes to financial management.
Mkhuleko Thengwe, really appreciate the time. Thank you very much indeed. The Chair of Parliament's Standing Committee on Public Accounts.